Alright everyone, it's time for Vermont Issues, episode 71. Vermont officials are trying to claim immunity against that fraud lawsuit. You see, they had the EB-5 program there at J-Peak, and Vermont officials had assured everyone, hey, we're going to oversee this. Don't worry, it'll be rigorous. There will be no embezzling money, no problems with migrant workers here at J-Peak. Vermont officials came out and told everyone that it would be fine. Don't worry about it. We will have unique oversight to this program. There will be no fraud in the state of Vermont. You know, this from the same state, by the way, that hired Jonathan Gruber, who ended up defrauding the state. The state had to sue him because of the single-payer debacle. I think they settled to the tune of $500,000 or something. So there was fraud there too. We're getting defrauded up the yin-yang here. And Vermont officials are now saying, oh, well, you can't sue us. We're immune for some odd reason. You know, we did the wrong thing. We didn't actually provide the oversight we proclaimed that we would. But you can't actually sue us because we're a big bad state and you're just not allowed to do that because reasons. No, they should be sued. If they're not providing enough oversight to make sure that there's no fraud going on within one of these sort of work permit programs. Yeah, I would think that it would fall on the back. See, we have heavy-handed state-level bureaucracy in Vermont. That's ultimately because we don't really have a functioning private marketplace in Vermont and everything's almost centrally controlled. Like, you want to do something with your land, yeah, good luck doing that. You want to build something, good luck. You want to rezone some property that you hold for some reason. You want to cut down a tree. Basically, anything you want to do, you need all sorts of permits and you've got all sorts of regulations on. It's a difficult process. If the state is going to take it upon its back to oversee and micromanage virtually every aspect of people's lives, then the state fundamentally is responsible, should be sued, and should be liable for fraud within the EB-5 program. And this would be the case regardless of specifically what we're talking about. It wouldn't just be, oh yeah, migrant workers came in and somebody running the program was getting a lot of money to do this, like they were embezzling, potentially millions of dollars through this bullshit. Anything else under the sun, if the state okays a solar farm, if the state okays a land development, and something has gone awry, some paper was missing, some official was embezzling money, somebody defrauded the state, it's their responsibility because they're the ones who put themselves into a situation to make sure to micromanage everything. If it were a private company only, in a vacuum without any real state involvement, then the state could argue certainly, oh well, we don't need to provide substantial oversight because that's just not our MO. It'd be more like maybe Texas or something. Why are you coming to us with this bullshit legal case? We don't ultimately do that much. They signed a few pieces of paper, made a few legal agreements, and that's all they had to do in order to work within the state. With the J-Peak case, it's more involved than that. This is a lot of state control, a lot of state regulation, more than a few pieces of paper, and now the state has the gall to come out and say, well, you can't sue us, we're immune. We're immune to everything. You can't do anything when we fuck up, essentially. And this is really this is a problem in a larger sense within Vermont in many other ways. We look at our road work within the state. The state constantly runs over budget, behind schedule, and has continuous problems maintaining basic infrastructure. We don't have a lot of heavy infrastructure in the whole state. There's really not a lot of it. In the Burlington area, some, and we've got that one highway that runs along most of the Connecticut River. Other than that, basically you're roughing it on what most states would consider to be side roads, for the most part, unless you're right in the downtown of one of these places that's settled, here in center Rutland or down in Bennington or Brattleboro or something. Otherwise, it's all secondary roads. They're mostly dilapidated, with cracked apart sidewalks and bad curbs and everything else under the sun. And then they tax people up the ass in order to pay for all this. We pay for these programs as taxpayers, and now the state's claiming, oh, you can't even do anything about it when we've screwed up. Yeah, I don't think so. I think that you should be sued. And I think your claim of immunity will be thrown out at some point. The courts will get involved and hopefully not dismiss the case. Hopefully they'll let it go forward so I can see some of these bureaucrats suffer a little bit, get a little hot under the collar. Now, knowing the state of Vermont, if they lose, if they have to pay millions of dollars to somebody, they'll just up the tax rate. They'll say, oh, well, the taxpayers will bail us out. No, you do that yourself. Decline your own salary or something. You pay for it. It's your problem. You're the ones that get yourselves into these messes. Isn't Vermont the only state without a balanced budget amendment at this point, I think, too? Which is really funny. Huh? Yeah, we can fiddle around with taxes all we want. We'll just increase the sales tax. Maybe we'll tax the pot a little more. Maybe this will get Phil Scott working on marijuana legalization. Oh, shit, you know, we're 100 million in the red or something. We gotta have weed, because then we can get more tax money as tourists come in and they smoke and toke and get $1 a gram out of them, siphon them off like a parasite. We run the state almost in the direct opposite manner that we could if we wanted to succeed and actually continue existing. We have a declining and aging population and a million other problems. Their goal, I guess, is, oh, well, that's okay. We'll do what Europe is doing, which won't work, and we'll slowly decimate the Vermont culture. We've already been decimated, though. A lot of people in this state ultimately are second home buyers that have retired from elsewhere, making the population even more old. Richer, but more old. The native Vermonters, when you look at a scale of Vermont income, we're somewhere in the middle, actually. We're not doing too badly when it comes to average income in the state, but that takes into consideration a very small handful of extremely wealthy individuals who ultimately, they've retired here, and they still have some sort of huge income. And that's the problem we have in this state. Now, the state should not be immune from being sued. The state acts like it's judge, jury, and executioner, like there's no limit to its power. Well, if you're going to act like that, then take the same responsibility commensurate with the power that you've taken upon yourselves, and then fucking deal with it. And then when it comes time to pay the piper, when you lose the suit, which I hope you do, then it's time for you to pony up that money in some manner that doesn't involve raising taxes. Not that I expect any of them actually has the capability to do so. And I'll just put it on the backs of the taxpayers or something, which will be a true freak show. That's about all. Peace out.